Namaskar, everybody. Today we have with us Dr. Chaman Lal Raina ji. Dr. Chaman Lal Raina ji is a great scholar of Shakt tradition in Kashmir as well as Kashmir Shaivism. I had multiple discussion. I also have learned a lot of things from Dr. Chaman Lal ji. And in fact, the first talk which he gave was basically an interview which I took him on the abode of Sharda. In the same line, because the Sharda Kashmir was the manifestation, complete manifestation of Sri Chakra, and we would like to hear from Dr. Chaman Lal ji about Sri Chakra, its worship in Kashmir, and its importance. Over to you, Dr. Ji.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
At the very outset, I would like to invoke Shri Ganesha, Adipurusha, and Nandkeshwara, who is one of the recipients of the Kadi Vidya Mantra. It is a Maha Mantra. And today is very auspicious Tithi. Today is Ashtami of the month of Margashirsha, because Lord Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, Masanam Margashirshosmi. I am the Margashirsha month among all the months. That this is therefore the blessed month. And Ashtami, as we know, all know, we have a special inclination, special gratitude, special thinking for this Ashtami, because it is closely associated with Sri Ragini Bhagavati and is one of the main tithis among Navami, Chaturdashi, Purnima in the Shakta tradition of Kashmir. We are all well versed in adoring the Shri Chakreshwara at the Hari Park. As we know it, Yani Tirthani Bharat Varshe, Tani Tirthani Kashmir Mandale, Yani Tirthani Kashmir Mandale, Tani Tirthani Vitastayam. Also it has been said, Yani Tirthani Kashmir Mandale, Tani Tirthani Shri Chakra Madhye. Whatever is in the universe is really in the center of the Bindu of the Sri Chakreshwar. I know most of the listeners are initiated in the Shakta mantras. This is true. They are related to the Sri Sharika, Sri Raganya, Sri Bhadrakali, Sri Sharda Devi, Sri Bala, Tripura Sundari, Sri Chankadarini, and the essential manifestation of the Tripura Sundari. Some of you might be the researchers, some of you might be knowing the quintessentials of the sacred geometry, which starts from Bindu, a dot, Rekha, a straight line, a kona, an angle, then interlocking of the triangles surrounded by the vrita or circles having 8 lotus petals and 16 petals with an expansion within the center of the 4 quadrants, making a divine passage for both being in and going out to meet the Ananta Shakti or infinity. Ananta means where there is no end. Ananta, where there is no end. This is all in the process of evolving Shakti. In my humble understanding, I have learned from the great spiritual masters of the Shakti tradition, receiving blessings from the Ishwar Swarup Swami Lakshmanju Maharaj, who initiated me in the applied Saraswata Bija Mantra. Here I am putting emphasis on the applied word, which I will tell later, applied Saraswati Bija mantra through mere look when I paid my obeisance to him at his sacred ashram, known as the Ishbar Ashram, Shaiva Ashram. His mere glance made me to write the Kashiriman Shaktivad, which is in Kashmiri language, and it has been published in the 13 issues of the Koshur Samachar after my mission. Swamiji examined it, verified it, and asked me to write the annotation on the Sahasranamas and study the Shri Chakra from the Kadi system of understanding, but having the deep devotion about the Shri Chakreshwara after my annotation to Shri Indrakshi Stotram in English. After that, I started working on the Bija mantras. Bija mantras are taken from the Malini Vijayotara Tantra. Also, it has its primal source in the Maheshwara Sutra and read with the Saptamatrikas. That is something special in Kashmiri Shakta ethos, known in Kashmiri language as Divzikir, Divzupuja. Shri Chakra is closely related to the Matrikas, which are adored as the Panchadashi mantra as well as the Shodashi Dash mantra of the Mother Divinity in the letters. These are from A, then going on, A, O, Re, etc. And these are 16 in number, hence evolved the Bija mantra. And in these Bija mantras, there is emphasis on the nasal sound, at that nasal sounds like cream, it is cream, it is shreem, it is am. Also pram, sham, kam, cham, tam, pam, yam, doom, veem, etc. These are the Bija mantras. Bija mantra is the seed syllable. And seed syllable space. It is very essential in the Shakta tradition of Kashmir. Space is the Akash Tattva, seed is the Bija, and syllable is the Matrika. Syllable is the Varna. Therefore, Devi is adored as the Varnatmika. Varnatmika ye nama. I make my obeisance to the Varnatmika, who is but the body of the alphabets or sounds, or known as the phonemes. This is the integration of the sounds that give artha to the shabda. So shabda and artha, they are interdependent. If we know the shabda, we do not know the artha, then what is the fun? If we know artha and we don't have its root, then what is the meaning? Therefore, shabda and artha, that is why shabda and artha are known as the Parvati and Parmeshwar. In this context, I will like to show you some visuals. This is the visual of Chakreshwara. Everybody knows it. Who had been to Kashmir, has seen it, or she has seen it, and they have done puja there. They have paid their obeisance. This. And what is the Suthula form is this? 18 arms. When we adore the Devi Mahalakshmi with 18 arms, then that is the Suthula form. Then in the graphic, this is the Sri Chakra, and it is one of the chakras taken from the Chakreshwara, and we have, this is known as the Vishuddha Chakram. Also, there is Kleem. Kleem is very important in understanding the Sri Chakra. According to Kashmir system, this has been drawn by me. And this clean is very important. Clean is Kamarupini, as well as clean is Kalikai Nama, and clean is also Krishnaya Nama. And it shows that there is connectivity between Krishna and Kali. This is the main emphasis on the Shri Chakra. Now I will show you one more visual. This is Nandakeshwara. He was one of the recipients of this Hadi mantra, which is also being invoked for understanding the Shakti tradition. And its mantra is Nandarudraya Nama, Tandarudraya Nama, Tarkarajaya Nama, Parkarajaya Nama, Mansarovaraya. Om Hrim Shrim Nandakeshwara Bhairavaya Nama. Nandakeshwara is a recipient of the Hadi system of mantra. Now, this process goes on. And in the Shakti tradition, we have the Ishtadevis. And all those Ishtadevis are but the formations of the Shri Chakra. And who has told it? It was Swami Ramji Maharaj, the Trikacharya of Kashmir, who has taught us the beauty of the Chakreshwara while teaching the Panchastari. The source of the Shri Chakra lies also in the Panchastari, and we can say that Shri Chakra is the integral part of our Kashmir Shakta philosophy. It is philosophy as well as it is a upasana, both philosophy, darshanik side, as well as there is the upasana side. Some read it for the purpose of understanding academic, but I have not learned it, I have not read it from the point of view of academics, because I have learned it from the point of view of sadhana, to understand what the Bija mantra is and how to do puja or how to pay my obeisance to the mother divinity in the forms of lines, dot, dash, angle, triangle, and then intersection or interlocking of the triangles, including the petals, 16 and 8, first 8, then 16, then 3 circles, then also known as the 4 entrances or bupras. This is known as the sacred geometry. And this is not sacred geometry, is not the Indian word. It has been given by the Westerners. Otherwise, this is the paripurnata of Rekha Bindu. When Westerners saw it, they gave it the name sacred geometry. Otherwise, this is nothing but the expansion of Bindu from Bindu to the straight line, and then making an angle, and then again the 4 quadrants. These are the 4 passages, and it has its significance where all the alphabets do reside in these triangles. And it is evolution from going to the Bindu. I will show you how is it possible, how it has happened. Say, for example, this is the point, here is the point, this is the point. And this point, when it evolves, it will become the point like this. The same point, it will become like this. See, this is the point, this is the point, and it becomes, when it further goes, then it will become this. The same point when it evolves, in Shakta language, this is known as the Sathar. And we have to understand it, why this Safara is. In the Shakti tradition of Kashmir, there is Adikuta, there is the Madhyakuta, and the Shakti Kuta. This is the Adikuta, and then this is the Madhyakuta, and this is the Shakti Putra. This is the expansion. We have, therefore, to go through these three systems to understand the beauty of the Shri Chakra. Shri Chakra is microcosm as well as macrocosm, both. It is Vishti as well as Samashti. It is whatever is in the universe is within you, me. It is in every cellular, our cellular system. This is what has been told to us by our great rishis, swamis, who have worked on it. And now, with regard to this, I will only say this thing. What about the word Shri? Shri means auspiciousness. Shri means it also implies the grace and grandeur, prosperity, its plenty. It has been said, Anirveda Shriyo Moolam. Here the word is Shriya. Anirveda Shriyo Moolam and Sahasa Shri Prativasati. Fortune favors the brave. Who is brave in this sense, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. We have to be brave so that we can understand, so that we can learn, we can face even the problems may be there because of our some wrongdoings, but how to face it. And he who has strength, more strength of charitra or character, strength of doing puja and yoga and meditation, then alone he can go from sukshma, it is sukshma, then sthula, then mahan, as I have shown you through these diagrams. Now, what is this? When this bindu evolved, this is also the Ashtadala. You can see it, I hope you can see it. When this Ashtadala evolves, it takes the form of, it looks like elliptical, but it is not elliptical. It looks like when it evolves, but it is only circular because the point has no length, no breadth, no width, no height. But to us, it seems during our sadhana, when we are able to understand, then we go to the Shakti Chakra. It is like this. It is like this Shakti Chakra, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and these are these quadrants, and intersection of these quadrants, only this word becomes, and this is the base. This is the base, and this is said to be the Meru or Smeru. For us, for Kashmiris, our Meru or Smeru is Chakreshwar. This has been told by our great masters. Swami Lakshmanji has said, even Swami Ramji and others have said, those who have really and really realized the energy and it is processed properly. What is this Bija mantra and how to perform it? It is therefore Shri Chakra is universal consciousness, and it is said to be ekatu api parama tat sarvam nadesha tatha ekasya karma vedat iti chet vidyaya shastram prayog shastram iti chet, according to the Mimamsa Shastra. When we study Mimamsa Shastra, with reference to Shri Chakra, then these sutras do help us to understand the basis of Shri Chakra. Now, according Bindu, now how to make it what it is. Bindu Trikona, Vasukona, Dashar Yugma, Manusra Naga Dalla, Samyuta Shodisharam, Vrata Trayam, Chadarani Sadana Trayam, Shri Chakra Rajam Uditam Paradevataya. This is the definition of Shri Chakra. Bindu, then Trikon, then Vasukon. Dashar Yugma means double. Dasha Ara means 10 and 10 triangles, and Manasram means 14. And then Ashdala and Shodsham means 16 petals, encircled by 3 circles, and then 4 dharani means 4 entrances. Shri Chakra Rajam Uditam Paradevataya. This is Shri Chakra Raj. Now we have Chakreshwara in Kashmir, and after asking this question to my masters who have taught me, and I told them, is there any difference between Shri Chakreshwara and Shri Chakra? And after so many years, they told me Shri Chakreshwara is the master design, universal design. Everything where Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, including Brahmi Shakti, Vaishnavi Shakti, and Raudri Shakti abides there. That is the primal triangle. Out of it, Shri Chakra has been thought of, and it is being revered with the same energy, because Purnamada Purnamida Purnam Adaha. Everything is Purna. When we take something out of it, it is again. This is the Vedic mantra, just like the mothers, they give birth to a child, and mother is also Purna. The child is Purna. In the womb, when the baby comes out, that child is also Purna, and mother is also Purna. Then from Purna to Purna, it is this application of Shri Chakra, what has been said in the Vedic mantras. Then there, we should not say, we cannot say that this is only the section. It is, of course, the section for our understanding, but it has that potency as that is within the laws and norms of Shri Chakra. Now, those who make puja or make obeisance to it, they have, through their intuition, it is all intuitive work, that they have said that there is Sarva Anandamaya Chakra, the second is Sarva Siddhiprada Chakra, the third is Sarva Rakshakara Chakra, and the fourth is Sarva Rogahara Chakra, Sarvartha Sadhaka Chakra, Sarva Sobhagyadayaka Chakra, Sarva Sankshobhani Chakra, and Sarva Shap Paripurak Chakra, and then we have this Trailokya Mohani Chakra. All these are the 9 chakras. This is also the progression from Bindu. There is the description of the Kailasa Chakra. When we study the Vamakeshwara Tantra, and we go to understand its language, then there is the Kailasa. The word starts from Vamakeshwara, starts from the Kailasa Chakra. It is filled with variegated forms of jewels, variety of celestial and terrestrial flowers. There is the center in the mandapa, which is a podium decorated with all the jewels, precious stones, munis, and gandharvas, or bestowing before Parvati and Parmeshwara. The word is Parvati and Parmeshwara. Shiva is seated in the Sukhasana. How is he seated? He is on the Sukha, very comfortable posture. He is sitting, and Parvati is there on the Vama Bhaga. Vama means the left portion is there. And this is the Kailas. So when we think, what is Kailas for us? The Kailas for us is the Sharika. And we will see in Sharika Sahasranam, it is said that 33 crore of Devi Devatas are reside here, and all the alphabets of the Malini are there at the Shri Chakras. If we have to study the Malini, we must first of all bow and pray to the Divine Mother Shri Chakreshwara so that the Chakreshwar will bless us to understand the very concept of the Malini. Malini is associated with the Matrika. And Shiva is having the hue of Shuddha Sphatik, means pure white hue, which is Sattva. The Girija or Parvati or Shivani or Sharika is seen having the effulgence of the millions of suns. Millions of the suns. Here the million does not mean million literally, it means Ananta, which we cannot understand. Only a devotee and a yogi can understand it. And who is there also? There is Kartikeya, Sharanana or Shanam. There is a Kartik. And Kartikeya listens to it. Kartikeya says, put to the question, O Lord, O Maheshwara Mahadeva, Pita Parameshwara, tell me about what is this cosmos. As a teacher, he tells him, this is the whole cosmos that you see through these point, dots, dashes, angles, curves, and the circles. And there's a process to go in and to go out. So the first recipient of this Sri Chakreshwara or Sri Chakra is the Kartikeya, according to the Vamakeshwara. And since we are the sons of rishis, and in our DNA there is the blood of this our rishis, we are live with the Gotra system. Sapt rishis used to go meditate there at the Devi Angan, and they would recite Vande Shilatani Ishwari Shisharika Devi Nama. Chakreshwar Hajatra Sazo Gadara Padisha Vach Lakshmi Thapana Shri Sharika Devi Nama. It was Krishna Gopal. And also there was Sahib Kol, Pandit Sahib Kol. He was a saint scholar who wrote the commentary on the Bhavani Sahasranam, which is also related to Sri Chakra in that sense, because he has drawn the chakras there. If you read that Vilas, the name of the book, and that I just forgot the name because of my old age. So I will just remember it. And then he has drawn the pictures and drawn with chakras there. And then the name of the book is Devi Nam Vilas. Here the emphasis is on the word Devi Nam, name of the Devi, and it is Vilas. There are two words, Vilas and Ullas. Where there is Vilas, there is Ullas. Vilas is the base and Ullas is the Akash Tattva. It is the question of meeting like a horizon, the base as well as the Akash Tattva. In this space, there is our Sri Chakra, and it is Devi, it is Bhavani. Bhavasi Shakti iti Bhavani Bhava, who is the creator. It is Shakti, is the Bhavani. And then he addresses who? Kartikeya addresses him as Devadi Deva. You are the Deva, Devata of all the Devatas. And then you are also Jagannatha. Here the word Jagannatha is associated with the Vaishnava tradition. Devadev is the Shakta tradition, and Jagannatha is the word related to Vaishnava tradition. He says there is no difference between while doing with the Shakti tradition, there we don't see there is any difference between Shivani and Mahalakshmi. There is no difference. That is why he has used the term Jagannatha along with Srushti, Sathati, and Laya. All these are because this is Chakra. Moving circle. So there is Srishti, there is Sathati, and there is Laya. There is not Samhar. In this concept, according to our Shastras, Kashmiri tradition, there is no Samhar. There is Laya. To get absorbed. Lie means to be in that. Like we have come from the totality and we are again going to the totality, that is Laya. Laya is also the yoga. Therefore, he says, the son says to his father, Kartikeya says to Parameshwara, you are Jagat Adar as well as the Vishwakarna. You are the cause of this whole universe. And in the tradition of this Shakta tradition, this is known as Sri Shantiki Yoga for Swarga and Moksha, because this is a tradition we want after when we go to the lie or we go where we have to go because of Pujana, because of sadhana, because of yoga, we will ascend to the higher realms, and that higher realm is Swarga. Then again we will come to the and take human birth, and finally when we have enjoyed what Swarga is, then we will get moksha. Therefore, when we study in this context, the Durga Sapshiti, where Suratha king is for Bhoga and Samadhi Vaishya is for yoga. Both have worship. Same way, same teacher, but two students, two aspirants. They were with two different mentalities, two different thought processes. Teacher is the same, place is the same, but the attitude to life and understanding spirituality is different. So one stands for Bhoga, the other is for Yoga. So Chakreshwar or Shri Chakra gives both yoga and moksha. Bhoga does not mean only the base element of life. There is no abhadrata. There is only Bhadra Karnam, as it is the Vedic injection, and only just we want to see ourselves, our Vansha to go ahead. And this is evolution, that is Ullasa. And from Vilasa to Ullas is the concept of Sri Chakra. There comes the word Ishvara also. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hritadeshe tishtati. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hritade. Why does he abide? Ishvara, neither masculine nor feminine, but it is known as Brahman of the Upanishads. But Ishvara is the name given in the Vedas, and Bhagavan is the name given in the Puranas. And we have avatars, that is also the concept of Vaishnavi Shakti, and it is also the Purana. But Ishwar, the word Ishwar is, Bhagavan Krishna also says, Ishwara sarvbhutanam hriteshe tishtati. He abides in our heart. What is the heart of our vibrations, of our understanding? It is known in the book that is known as Saptashiti Hridayam. This is the Saptashiti Hridayam, authored by my father. And he has written it for me. It is in Sanskrit, and I had to learn Sanskrit to understand this. This is the beauty of this Hritadesha. What is Hritadesha? And how we understand the beauty of these Devis, 9 Devis or 9 chakras, which are in the process of growing and growing, evolving and evolving during the Navadurga stays is closely related with the 9 chakras. And then there are two approaches, two basic approaches to understand the Chakreshwara or Shri Chakra. One is Kadi Vidya, the other is known as the Hadi Vidya. Ka Adi. Ka plus Adi is Kadi. Ka extra. Adi means extra. Vidya means knowledge of understanding, the Bijas. And there are also one other system that is known as Ha Adi. Then there is integrating system that is known as Sa Adi Vidya. Kadi Vidya, Adi Vidya, and Sa Adi Vidya. In a Kashmir system, because we are adoring Devi through Kalim Rupaye or Kalim Bij Mantra, and it is associated with curve, a stream of words. It is Ka, I, E, L, Preem, Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Cream, and Sa, Ka, La, Cream. These are 15. Related to the 15 digits of the moon in the ascending order, then it goes in the descending order, and that is known as Chandrakala. That is Chandrayana or Chandrakala system that our mothers used to and our elders used to while making parikrama or pradakshina around the Shri Chakreshwar. And as I have seen many mothers going there from the Havakadal area during the month of Kartika, and they would make the pradakshina on first Tithi 1, on second Tithi 2, similarly 15, then 14, 13, etc. like this. So this is also one of the systems, and it has been introduced in the Shakti tradition by Chandra. Chandra means the moon god, the moon. Lunar effects are there. Now, when we go there, and what we do, you have seen when you go there at Chakreshwara, at Hari Parvat, and there you would also take the petal, these lotus petals, and put it, make a circle of Ashtadala or 16 dollars. If that was not available, then Kashmiris would do Patr. In Kashmiri, there is some fragrant weed type, and that is known as Patr in Kashmiri. We also used to adore Devi with that Patr because that was good fragrance. And then we make the chakra within chakra. And that means our love towards the Shri Chakra. Shri Chakra is already there, but the devotee goes there. How will he say that you are great? So what he takes and offers the leaves, lotus petals, or some flowers. In Kashmir, marigold or jafar, or any other, and akshata, tumlaful. In Kashmiri, we call it tumlaful, and offer it. Therefore, we say Shri Chakra Pri Bind Tarpan Para Shri Raj Rajesh Chanda Pad Yuga Nirukta Sumka Shiksha Cha Shiksha Cha Janga Yuga Rig Vedo Rikushna Sam Vedo Daratar Kanyay Kucha Shuti Sumriti Yuka Vyad Vedanana Vedanta Mritalochana Bhagavati Shri Raj Rajeshwari. And you see this picture. This is the outcome of this picture. This one, and this is the outcome of this picture. It says, I will read it. I have written it. बिंदु के स्पंदन से सदृशता के अनंत आनंद की ओर जाने का आभास अद्भुत होता है. I will read it again. Bindu se सबता के अंत आनंद और जानने का आभास अद्भुत होता है। ये आभास, दिस इज आभास, जो प्रतीक आत्मकता से स्वज्ञान की ओर ले जाता। दो दिस इज प्रतीक, ए सिंबल, but it takes us swajnana, means gyan, which is within me, within you, and it takes me from pratik, from symbol to the eternity. Yah tejo nidhi tanant garnibi नोपायते प्रेरतुम हार्दम दौंतमपि शिखमपि तद्यान मात्रा दृशा यत्सद्वाद अनुपात सर्वम उजुतम बानुम यथा पद्मिनी प्रतिग्धाम न माम तत्तव वपु श्री राज राजेश्वरी. Here the word is Padmini. Again the feminine word, Padmini, and that is lily. I offer this, your Padmini. You are great. You are all beauty. You are Kakara Rupa, you are Hrim Karni, you are Tejaswini, and you are Tripurajanani. I will read these names which is related to the Padmini. It is Padmini, Padmadastha, Padma Kinjal Kavasini, Padma Vaktra, Padmastha, Padma Sambhava. She is also Hrim Kari, Shri Kari Bhushana. She is Kashta with in relation to time, Kashta, Murta, Nimisha, Animesha, Adimasa, Masa, Samvatsara. She is Vishwatmika and Vishwamata. She is Vishwa Pashi Vibhavini. She is Ichha Shakti. She is Jnana Shakti, Priya Shakti. Also, Dakini, Sakini, Shakini, Chakravakini, Lakini. These are 7. And she is Kavalika. Most Rakesh told me, what is this Kavalacharya or Kavalika? He was asking me. I told him, if at all we can meet at this time after this COVID is over, whatever I have a little learned from a great master. I am not a researcher. I am not a, just I am a student who wants to learn for the last 60 years about Shri Chakra. And for the last 40 years, I have been reading and reading Sri Aurobindo Savit. That is only my 2 things that I want to learn. Settle, to be very honest, it is very, very difficult to understand what Sri Chakra is. No doubt there are books here and there are available books. एक तो होता है अनुभव से लिखना, दूसरा होता है कि क्या कुछ लिखा गया है उसका वर्णन करना. श्री चक्र वर्णन करने की बात नहीं है, श्री चक्र अनुभव की बात होती है. एक एक रेखा, एक एक बिंदु को समझने की बात होती है. श्री चक्र के पॉइंट पर ही, यदि उसके डॉट को ही हम अंडरस्टैंड कर ले, और फिर ये रेखा किस तरह से बनती है, हाउ दिस लाइन इज टू बी मेड, that to draw from left to right or right to left, we can do it. There is point mathematically. You put somewhere the point, then you have to draw it. There is a circle, and there are 4 quadrants, and you can draw from left to right and right to left. There is a system. You can draw it. You can go up. You can go down, but there is a system. That is why this is known as Gadi system. This is known as Hadi system, and this is known as the Sati system. We have so many things available in the market, so many books people write on Sri Chakra. You can just Google and you can find so much of information about Sri Chakra. But if you yourself go and learn how to draw it, draw it, and there are persons who knows how to draw it. I will just show one thing that I want to share with you. All these things that I showed you, this is the Sri Chakra, which has come to me as a legacy from my great grandfathers. They have drawn it, They have drawn it. And this is the Kashmir concept of Shri Chakra. This is on the Tamra, means copper. And you will see there are two ways of putting it. One is below. If we put the triangle below downwards, vertex downwards, it is the Srishti mark. But we cannot do it like this because that is Samhara mark. Therefore, all if you get it from the mark, do it. Invoke it yourself, whosoever may be elder to you in the family, and ask him or her to invoke it. And then do puja, what in any way you like, because only word am, if you remember or anybody remembers am and puts only one drop of water at the center, then Devi becomes pleased. This has I have learned it from my teachers. The first teacher who told me about it when I was 5 years old, I am 80 plus this time, and when I was put to school, then my Pitaji took me to one great sannyasi. He was a Kashmiri, though in Kashmir, and there have been only two sannyasis. One was Shivratana Giri and Swami Madhu Saraswati. And he took me there. Because I had to go to the schools that day, my father took me there, this takti and some soil. In Kashmiri, we call it Burit Mills from Shankaracharya. And he took my hand, that Swamiji, in Kashmir, he was a Kashmiri, he told me, put my hand and wrote two Bijaksharas and asked my father, teach your son Urdu and English. The rest he will learn afterwards. Then I went to school, and in school, I learned one word that is Justuju Zindagi. That is, you have to exert, you have to work, whether it is Laukik, it is Adibhautik, Adhyatmik, whatever it is, Adidevik, Adibhautik, or Adya, whatever it is, you have to make the effort. And that is Justuju Zindagi. This Justuju Zindagi is very important in understanding. Then came in my life one more master, because he was my Adiguru. And then came the second. He gave me one mantra, because now afterwards I understood why there were three teachers to me in the spiritual field. And then his name was Wali Kashmiri, a great artist of the time and a great poet. And he gave me two syllables. And then he told me how to meditate on the Bindu. That was all Raj Yoga. Apart from that, then in 1987, I had the blessings of Swami Lakshmiju Maharaj. His grace is always with me. And he gave me once Bija Mantra and told me it is applied. I gave you this Bija Mantra, but it is applied. I did not understand at that time what does applied mean. Then it was because of his word, applied word, I applied this claim in my writings. And then I was able to write commentaries, and which has been published by various Sanskrit universities. BHU is also just seeing my work, and then it is all because of the great masters. Now, the three syllables like this, it is a three syllable, 1, 2, 3, then two syllables, then one syllable, it becomes a triangle. So 3, 2, and 1 is 6. 3, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, it means 6, and that is why Kartikeya with 6 head was, who is known as Sharanana or Shanmukha, and was given this mantra. So I am not So the great three masters who has given me this mantra is the basis of my understanding. I do not, honestly speaking, I do not know. I am not a researcher, I am not a writer, I am just seeing, I only know A to Z. In my school days, I was told it is A to Z. Now I have to learn A to Z in this modern concepts of American influence, A to Z, and Adikshantam Akshar Murtya Vilasantim Bhute Bhute Bhuta Kadamba Prasvitrim Shabda Brahma Nandamayim Tam Tanumatyam Gaurim Ambam Ambaroho Akshim Ahamide Adikshantam, extra. And Shantam means Kusha. In Kashmiri, we called it Kha. It is Kshatrajnya. Adi Akshar Murta, the whole family of these alphabets is the Akshar Murti. And Akshar Murti is nothing but the Malini Vijyotar. If we study Malini Vijyotar Tantra, then we will be able to understand the Sri Yantra, Sri Chakra. What is the difference between, sometimes my son, and not my son, but actually my grandson asks me, what is the difference between Chakra and Yantra? I told him. Yantra and Chakra is always in motion. It is always in motion. It goes. It is just like a wheel, spinning wheel. And then there is continuity. And Sri Aurobindo says it was a time before the gods awoke in the opening lines of Savitri. And then it is that continuing process that is Chakra. It moves on, goes on, moves, and it will go continuously, never unending, because it has not been created, nor it is going to be destroyed. Then Yantra is when we draw it on. Actually, it is not allowed to draw on the paper. It is allowed, it should be drawn either on the Bhojapatra or on the copper plate or on the silver plate, Chandi ke patte par, or on the gold. It is, if gold is not possible, then Chandi ke patra par means on Rakesh.
Yes, Mara. Yes, Mara.
No,
You can continue. We're able to hear you. That's okay. You can continue. No problem.
And then Chandi and Burja. Burja has a life of 6 months. And the yantra which are made has 25 years. And the gold is 100 years. So that is, it is the 2-dimensional. And if we have to make it 3-dimensional, then we have to be very accurate. And this time these are available in the markets, but you have to see it whether it is accurate to the dimensions. I have seen this copper plates with Sri Yantra, and there I have observed the mantras are not written according to the standards. It has been neither according to the Kadi Vidya mantra nor according to the Hadi or Sadi Vidya mantra. So it is better to make it, invoke it, and try to understand it. Now I will read it in the concluding words. Just Kalyana Yutupurna Bimbavadana Purneshwari Nandini Purna Purnatara Paresh Mahishi Purnamrita Swadini Sampurna Paramot Mritakala Amritakala Vidyavati Bharati Shri Chakra Pri Bindu Tarpana Para Shri Raja Rajeshu. The emphasis is on the Amritakala. What is this Amritakala? Amrit Kala is, it is just like when, as a student of geometry, everybody knows there is a tangent. What is this tangent? Touching two circles. At one point only, we draw a straight line that is known as the Amrita Kala, Vidyavati Bharati. Bharati means the Vedas. Vidyavati means Saraswati Sharada. Shri Chakra Pre-Bindu Tarapana Para. Tarapana Para. Bindu is Tarapana Para means transcendental point. It is Shri Rajarajeshwari. You are known as the mother of speech, as Bharati, and all what are revered as the Vedic Shrutis. Shri Chakra is to be meditated upon in the center, where lies its nucleus, as being the pre-Bindu. That Bindu transcends all the three stages of the time, consciousness, and which is Para Prakriti. Now about the Saptamatrika. Saptamatrikaएं सुंदरता की अधिष्ठात्री देवियां हैं. कारण यू है शाश्वत सुंदरम का भाव सौंदर्य है. पराभक्ति में भी साधना वास्तव में सौंदर्य है, तथा सौंदर्य जीवन की परिभाषा है. सौंदर्य में गति है, प्रकाश है, प्रकाश ही शिव है. शिव सदा अंतःकरण की शुद्धता में वास करता है. निर्मल मन की प्रसन्नता के साथ साथ एक भक्त अथवा साधक निर्गुण निराकार निर्विशेष में लीन होकर परात्पर तत्व जानने की प्रक्रिया में अपने मन से उसी निराकार को सौंदर्य के आंचल में देखने के लिए लालायित होता है. Now, what is there? It is Om Sudaya Namah. Namaskar to the Tripura Sundari. Namaskar to Chakreshwara, who is Sudha, the Amritam, Ambrosia. Namaskar to Shri Chakra, which is Danya, conferring wealth and prosperity. And she is Hiranyamai. She is blissful mother, providing peace, progress, prosperity, and filled with every possibility. Sankalapa with Vikalapa is there. And she is Nitya Pushta, who is ever strength, giving Shakti. She is Kamala, who holds the lotus in her hand. She is Kanta, the mother with all effulgence and brightness. Now, there is the concept of Khadgamala. People who adore in Kashmir, Khadgamala, they say, is she having the Khadga? Khadga here should not be taken literally as Khadga Talwar. It is abhushan just of the Chandrahasa, of the Chandrakala, of the like the Ashtami Tithi, which she holds in her hands, and she is decorated. And we have to just offer our gratitude to the Devi, who is Hridaya Devi, who is Shiro Devi, who is Kavacha Devi. She is Birunda and Vajreshwari. She is Sarva Siddhiprada Chakra Swamini, Atirahisi Yogini, Shri Mahabhatarika, Sarva Anandamayi Chakra Swamini. And then she is that which cannot be understood through the word meaning. This is what I have said, what I have learned. Look, we have to understand it, taking the words of Swami Lakshmanju very seriously. We have to submit ourselves before the great Mother Divine, who is in the form of Shri Chakra Prebind Tarapanapara Shri Rajarajeshwari. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. मैं आप लोगों से विनती करता हूँ, एज के कारण से मैं थक जाता हूँ, इसलिए कहीं कहीं आपको लगता होगा कि सीक्वेंस नहीं है, क्योंकि मन में विचार आते हैं, संकल्प होता है, हर एक संकल्प के कई विकल्प होते हैं, और इसी से सृष्टि भी बनती है. और इसी तरह से मैं आपके पास आया हूँ. मैं नहीं चाहता था आने के लिए, क्योंकि मेरे लिए प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. आई हैव टू टेक हायर द सर्विसेज ऑफ माय सन, मगर क्योंकि आदेश था, छोटों का ही आदेश था, तो मानना पड़ा. एंड आई वाज गिवन दिस रिस्पांसिबिलिटी बाय आई थिंक सुनील जी, Sunil Rajanak ji and Rakesh ji. So all my good wishes to you. Bhagwan Sabhi ka bala kare. ओम शांति शांति। मुझे गलती हो तो क्षमा कीजिए। These should not be taken as my final words. I am nothing before Mother Eternity. I am just a student. That is all. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I have no words to speak now about whatever. I think these were so beautiful words. And as Dr. G himself mentioned, this Sri Chakra is not a subject of the philosophy. I think it is about the sadhana. I think it's about the sadhak to realize the Sri Chakra of himself. It's not about the books. It's not about what you see. It's not about the geometric figure. It's all about realizing that Sri Chakra in your own sadhana, in your own practice. Really, this was very beautiful, wonderful, eye-opening session. Maybe, yes, it will have, I think, hope this will have a ignite all of the youngsters to at least start studying, get into the aspects of the Shakt tradition of Kashmir. We have crossed the time, but with your permission, Mara, I will just read first 5 shlokas from the book Sri Sharda Sahasranam, because
yes, that is, sir, what is needed, because Shri Chakra is related to Shri Sharada. I hope you will read it with your melodious voice.
I will just read the first 5 shlokas just before the Shanti mantra. Om Hrim Kalim Sharada Shanta Srimati Sri Shubhankari Shubha Shanta Sharatitya Shayamika Shamakuntala Shobhavati Shashankeshi Shitakumbhak Prakashini Praptaya Tapani Tapya Shitala Sheshashayini Shama Shanti Kari Shanti Sri Kari Veer Sudini ब्रह्माणि क्षत्रिया वैश्या वानरी वेशवान्विता वाशाली शुभगा शोभ्या शोभना च श्रुतिस्मृता जगन्माता जगद्धात्री जगत्पालनकारिणी हारिणी गतनी गोदा गोमती जगदाश्रथा सोमयायाम्या तथा काम्या वाम्या वाचाम गोचरा. the Shanti Patha. Asto ma satkamaya tamso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thanks everybody. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Maharaj. Bada asal asal.